Hello, my name is Allie and welcome to my channel. We are here, back again with Mystic Destiny Serendipity Valence Taku's route. Let's go. When I woke up today, it was, of course, evening. Somehow I've started to get used to hardly ever seeing the sun up anymore. But this time I'm sure I slept so long because of how exhausted I was from yesterday's power outburst. As I walk through the hospital with Taku at my side, I wonder if it's safe for me to be here. No, I'm fine as long as I control my emotions, right? Takumi made good on his promise to bring me to see Yasu, but now that I'm here, I'm super nervous. We come to a halt in front of a door. Takumi briefly glances at it before focusing on me. Here it is. My mom usually visits on Saturdays, so she's probably in there. Oh, alright. I'm gonna go then. I need to finish getting you what I mentioned to you yesterday. Taku turns around before I could say much and starts walking away. See ya. He doesn't turn around, just gives me a quick wave as he walks away. I stare at his back as he leaves, right up until he turns at a corner and disappears from sight. I'm getting the feeling that Taku didn't want to be here at all. I wonder how often he comes to visit then. I turn back toward the door and steel myself, taking a deep breath. He said his mother isn't here. She always was so kind to me, but it has been a while. Ah, you can do this, Munchie. With that, I push open the door to the hospital room. I walk into the hospital room and immediately see Takumi's mother, Nyoko. She turns, and when she sees me, she greets me with a smile. How would I do with her voice? Munchie, Takumi said you would be coming. It's been a while. It's been so long. Why am I talking weird? I walk up to Nyoko, feeling a little awkward, and give her a small bow. Nyoko steps closer and pulls me into a one-armed hug. Oh, I'm messing up so bad right now. I freeze at first, not knowing what to do or how to react, but I quickly find myself smiling. Nyoko has never been one for formality, I guess. She hasn't changed at all. When Nyoko pulls away, I get a good look at her face, and it hits me just how much I've missed her. Whenever she wasn't working, she was always more of a mother to me than Shizuka ever was. You've grown so much. You're such a lovely young lady now. Though, you always were the cutest child. Thank you. Nyoko's expression suddenly relaxes into a frown, and I realize that she must wear it far often than a smile. I guess it's supposed to be far more often. Did Takumi already leave then? I nod. Nyoko sighs and looks away. Takumi doesn't like to see Yasu. He hasn't for years. I finally asked him why he doesn't come visit Yasu anymore. He said that he'll come and see him when he wakes up. Nyoko glances over at the hospital bed, and I swallow, seeing the thin form lying there. I slowly walk over to Yasu, hooked up to various monitors. He looks deathly pale, but oddly enough, he doesn't seem to be wasting away. He grew into such a handsome man, but I hate seeing him like this. He looks so thin and pale and like death itself. I hate it. Nyoko comes to stand next to me. They still don't know what's wrong with him. She sighs deeply and says in a small voice, I just want my son back. I feel a stab in my heart at the weariness and pain in Nyoko's voice. Why did this have to happen? No wonder Taku is so determined to solve this case. He must want to bring some kind of closure to his mother, at the least. I spend a little more time talking to Nyoko before I begin to feel like I can't handle it anymore. Being here with Yasu, who almost looks like he's dead, and a depressed and hopeless Nyoko, I can't take it. I want to cry or scream or do something. But what can I really do? And for some reason, something seems off with Nyoko. She won't look at me in the eye at times and keeps cutting her sentences short. I wonder if there's something she's hiding, but I can't figure out exactly what it might be. In the end, I decide to leave soon after. With too much on my mind, I go back home to Aurelia's place. I found my way back to Aurelia's on my own, taking the train that Takumi had sent me information about. The feelings in my heart were so heavy that it had felt like I had to drag myself back. I'm so distracted that I forgot that Aurelia had put in some new magical verification system and nearly tripped the alarm. Luckily, I remember quickly enough that I'm able to wave my hand in front of the crystal lock in time. I don't even want to think about what might happen if the alarm got tripped. When I get in, there's no one there yet. I sigh, feeling especially lonely. I guess they're both busy with whatever. I go to the kitchen, still feeling weird about rummaging through someone else's cabinets. But a girl's gotta eat, so... While I try to reach a box of cookies on the top shelf, something catches my eye. I turn to see books on the dining room table, stacked high. Forgetting food for now, I go over to investigate. After scanning through a few of them, I realize that many of these ones talk about how to get control and power fast. Aw, it's Takumi being nice about that? Sounds a little suspicious, but I guess I'll have to take what I can get. I wonder if Takumi brought these in. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. I grab some food and settle in to study while I eat. Suddenly, I feel more awake and very thankful for the distraction from that depressing hospital visit. After reading for a while and checking the different books, it seems like all of them talk about something called death magic, a type of magic powered by souls. Sounds terrifying, but all right. As I read on, though, something else becomes clear. The user generally utilizes their own soul to power it. It's not uncommon for a user to underestimate how much of a soul they have used. Some users have even died due to power overuse. Wow, this shit is scary. I am supposed to be an immortal now, though. So, do I really have to worry about death then? Logically, I shouldn't, right? Besides, I could just see this to help me control these powers and find Shizuka. Then she can take her damned powers back. Still, I should ask Taku and Aurelia about the subject some other time. I continue to read on into the night. The next day, I'm startled out of my sleep by a knock on the door. I jump out of sleep right into confusion. Huh? Come in. Still feeling bleary, I sit up in bed as I rub my eyes. The door opens and Takumi walks in, holding a purple shopping bag. I nearly hiss at the light being turned on.
Good evening, my lady vampire. I hath brought thee a gift.
Oh, jeez, dude. I don't know why his voice is making my throat so scratchy when trying to say his voice. It's weird. I eye the bag in suspicion as Takumi places it on the bed next to me.
Go ahead. See what's in it.
I'm trying to make it sound like Kermit, apparently. I stare at him, but he just keeps on smiling. So I sigh and do as I'm told. I look inside the bag and pull out a piece of soft black folded clothing. As I unfold it, I realize it's a hooded dress. I look at Takumi, who only grins back at me. Why did you buy me more clothes?
Because it isn't regular clothing. It's gear. You can sync it to a gear crystal. Actually, I'll have Aurelia do that later. Do you know what a gear crystal is?
I nod. I read about it. If you sync enchanted clothing to a gear crystal, you change into it in an instant, right?
Yep. And that gear is enchanted with really strong magic to help you with control and focus. I heard it belonged to a powerful sorceress once, hundreds of years ago, actually. Or so the legend goes. Or maybe it was some other kind of supernatural, like a mage. Legends are always kind of unclear.
Another sorceress? I examined the clothes. The fit and style looked too modern to belong to anyone from hundreds of years ago. Are you really sure about that? Taku nods.
Yeah, it looked very different before Aurelia and I had someone tailor it.
Taku looks away.
I took some of your clothes. He's blushing. But not in a creepy way. Just so we could get a good fit. And I wanted to surprise you. I thought this style would look really good on you. Plus, the hood will help cover your identity.
My cheeks suddenly feel a little hot, and I look away from Takumi's piercing gaze. I take a deep breath and steady my heart and examine the dress. Thank you, Taku. I really like it.
No problem. I'm glad you do. So, have you been studying up on magic? I saw that pile of books is gone.
I hold the dress to my body and look at Taku. Yeah, every night for hours. It's actually pretty interesting. At least the books you got me. Oh, that reminds me. I found out that there's a spell that will let me teleport short distances without using a person's soul as beacon. So, I'd be able to follow you without dragging you down when you're doing your ninja thing. I think I might be able to see you while you're there this way. Although it's normally a really complicated spell, so I'd have to use my soul to power it instead. I tried it a few times last night and managed to port a short distance once, though it really exhausted me. Taku nods.
That sounds perfect. You can get some real practice in tonight then.
Tonight? What do you mean? Are we going somewhere?
Yep. Not a job, though. A mission. We're going to try to meet the leader of the Silver Dogs.
The name sounds familiar, but I have to think about it for a second before I remember. It's the name of the rebel faction within the Okura Mafia that Aurelia told Taku about. A faction that wants to take out Azucena del Bosque. Jeez. What? Why? I mean, how do you even know if they'll meet with us, and not just kill us on sight?
I don't.
So then what? Takumi says his next words with such conviction, it's almost as if he's trying to convince himself more than anyone.
Because I believe I can make them listen. I have to. I need this. We both do. This is our biggest lead to both finding Shizuka and finding out what happened to my brother. I have to know what really happened to him. Who he really was. There are signs, evidence that he might have been working with the Okuras. That he might have been Azucena's lover.
What? The words hit me like a blow to the stomach. I can only imagine what the thought alone does to Takumi.
That's why I have to do whatever it takes. That's why I have to solve this mystery. I need to know what happened in Yasu's final days.
We stare at each other in silence. I search Takumi's eyes and see a sort of intensity and confidence that I've never seen before. Finally, I drop my gaze and give him a slight nod. I'll do my best not to get in your way. Taku frowns down at me and puts a hand on his hip, not my hip.
You can't have that kind of attitude on a mission.
I snap my head up to look at him.
I know this is a lot to handle all at once, and I'm sorry about that. But I wouldn't bring you if I thought you couldn't handle it. I've hardly ever known exactly what I'm doing when I go on missions. Every night I go out, I'm nervous. My heart won't stop pounding. It's racing right now, just thinking about what we have to do.
Taku steps over to me and takes my hand, pressing it against his chest. Even through his jacket, I can feel his heart radiating from his body, the thumping of his heart against my hand.
Sometimes I'm so anxious that I feel sick to my stomach. Every night, every night, everything in me screams that I might not be able to do it this time. That this night might be the one I don't go home. I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.